Ladies and gentlemen, Swifties around the world, it's Anthony Aiken Jr. I've been listening to Taylor Swift for a while now, and I love it here. I listen to the full discography, and it's only right that in this moment in time, I share with you all my top 13 Taylor Swift songs of all time. Okay, this is going to be slightly controversial, but there's no wrong answers. Why? Because Taylor makes great music. But I want to hear your favorites. So as you watch the video, give me your thoughts. Attack me. Give me the pitchforks. I want to see what y'all have to say. Because my music taste, I've always said it, it's impeccable. Okay? My music taste belongs in museums. However, I do value you. I love you. So I want to hear what you have to say. I have 13 songs. I have one honorable mention. My honorable mention is Lover. Lover is a great song. You could play it at your wedding. When you're lonely on Valentine's Day, you could put this song on. It gives you a Motown feel, right? The Motown era was heavily in the music when you listen to Lover.
Swear to be over dramatic and true to my lover.
And Lover, you have these layered vocals, you have live drums, you have the violins. With every guitar string scar on my hand. To describe the guitar string scars is the heartbreak, right? When she would write all these songs about heartbreak and about the trials and tribulations of love, those guitar string scars represent that. And now she's standing at the altar, ready to marry the love of her life. Isn't that the most beautiful lyric in the whole world?
Lover.
Okay, it's officially time. Okay, now we are making our way to the top 13. And this is where it gets serious. Number 13. And I believe most people do not have this song on their top 13 list. But this one's a very special one and a very personal one to me. And it's from Fearless. The song is called The Best Day. The Best Day, if you watched my reaction to Taylor's first 3 albums, I said, this is the only song that made me cry on my YouTube channel.
Don't know if Snow White's house is near or far away, but I know I had the best day with you today.
In this song, Taylor's reflecting on her childhood with her mom, her dad, and her brother. I love the line where she says, I don't know if Snow White's house is near or far away, but I know I had the best day with you. It doesn't matter the fairy tale elements and what I see on television, that is amazing. But as long as I'm with you, it doesn't matter if that's real or not, because what we have is real. And that's family. And that's why family is so important. And obviously not everybody's fortunate to have that. And not everyone's fortunate to be able to listen to a song like this and relate. But for the ones that do, it just makes you appreciate what you do have.
I don't know who I'm gonna talk to now at school, but I know I'm laughing on the car ride home with you.
I don't know who I'm gonna talk to now at school, but I know I'm laughing on the way home with you, right? On the car ride home, something like that. And I remember when I was in school, I used to hate it. I hated school with a passion, and there was moments where I didn't have any friends. I turned out to be a really cool person, nonetheless, like Taylor Swift. Those drive homes from school were all good if I had my mom with me, because my mom was like my best friend in those moments.
Now I know why all the trees change in the fall.
I know why the trees change in the fall. It's just to show you now she's grown up. And now she's an adult. And now, a lot of us are the same age as our parents when our parents had us, which is crazy to think about. But those full circle moments are beautiful. Like I took my dad to a Knicks game. My dad took me to my first Knicks game when I was a kid. Fast forward years later, I work in sports and I took my dad to a Knicks game. It's things like that, man. And I had the best day with him, had the best days with my mom and my sister. So, yeah, that's number 13. Number 12, and I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. This is one of the greatest Taylor Swift singles of all time. Yes, there are certain songs that get overplayed, okay? The Best Day was an album cut. This is a popular song. It was all over the radio. This is one of the few Taylor Swift songs that I listened to before I was listening to Taylor or any pop music.
Nice to meet you, where you been? I could show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you there and I thought.
Because contrary to belief, okay, I ain't listening to Taylor Swift back then. Hell no. Hell no. I ain't listening to no Taylor Swift back then. I just love how this song flips the narrative. You know, when you watch all of those cringy interviews with like Ellen DeGeneres and they're poking fun at her, not even her dating history, but her sitting next to another man and, ooh, Taylor Swift must be X, Y, and Z. Like, it's ridiculous. But she took that and said, okay, there's this character they're writing about that goes from man to man and falls in love, and then she gets heartbroken, and then she moves on to the next man. So she took that and said, you know what, that's very interesting. And you get blank space.
Got a long list of ex-lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane, but I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
I love her cadence, her confidence. The beat is just so amazing. You know, it reminds me a little bit of hip hop, the way she's flowing on the track. It's not like she's singing all the time. Just nice to meet you, where you been? I can show you incredible thing. My favorite part is when she sings, oh my God, who is she? I get drunk off jealousy.
My God, who is she? I get drunk on jealousy, but you'll come back each time you leave. Cause darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream.
Because darling, I'm a nightmare dressed as a daydream. And that kind of symbolizes this character that she's trying to paint. And the sarcasm and, you know, because I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Like, you could be the next victim. I love the way she flipped the narrative. Like, that's some of Taylor's best skills is the way in which she's sharing a narrative that's already relevant within the media, and she's like, I'm taking control of it on my end. The number one Taylor Swift album opener is number 12 on this list, State of Grace. Now, I listened to all of them. You know, there's some I'm not a big fan of, you know. There's some that I forgot existed. And then there's some that you listen to and you're like, oh, this is the one. State of Grace is incredible. The drums just, it brings you in.
I'll never be the same.
And she's singing her heart out, especially on the Taylor version. This is some of her best vocals to date on this song. And you have the beautiful guitar, and she sings, this is the worthwhile fight. Love is a ruthless game. These are the hands of fate. You are my Achilles heel. Like, the way she describes love, especially in, at the time, 2012, and that generation of love, I think this is perfectly written. And the energy in this track, it sets the tone for Red, which is, to me, one of her best albums as well.
The state of grace. This is the worthwhile fight. Love is a ruthless game, unless you play it good and right.
I also love the background vocals, the ha 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 ha. Like, if I didn't just wake up, that would sound incredible. State of Grace is 11, and now we have number 10, Anti-Hero. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been talking about this song damn near on the last like 5 videos. This made my best songs of 2022. Definitely watch that video. Production, the 80s vibes, the jingle, this jingle right here. Very well done. It reminds me of all of those commercials that used to play way back in the day. Like an 80s Super Bowl commercial would sound like that. You know, obviously the line, you know, when my depression works the graveyard shift, all the people I ghosted stand there in the room.
My depression works the graveyard shift. All of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room.
The line when she says, sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby and I'm a monster on the hill, which can either describe, you know, her age and the fact that all of these artists, new coming artists, are a lot younger, or just her height. You know, Taylor is a tall individual, and sometimes she'll feel like a giant in the room, you know, and that has a lot of deep meanings too.
Everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill.
You know, in the way people judge women of age or women of that height. And then later on, you know, it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. It's everything you love about Taylor. You know, that same energy that she gave you in Blank Space, she gives you right here in the chorus of the song.
Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. It's tea time, everybody agrees.
Last but not least, the lines in the bridge where she's talking about not leaving anyone in her will, and she's laughing up at us from hell. The creativity, like who in their right mind would think to say that in a song, and then boom, it's Taylor Swift, of course. And you know what I was thinking? When you watch a show like Stranger Things, and then you have the song Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, and how that was created so long ago, but it just still fits perfectly in these modern shows that kind of take from the 80s and the 70s. I can see 30 years from now a TV show on whatever streaming service playing Anti-Hero. Number 9 on the list is Wildest Dreams. This is my second favorite song from 1989, and this is magical. That's the best way I can put it. It's the most majestic song in her career. The violins, the chorus, you know, say you'll remember me.
Say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams.
To be honest with you, like, compared to the rest of her songs, especially when you get to the top 5, you'll see I'll be putting these encyclopedias and dictionaries to use because the top 5 songs, in my opinion, are Taylor's lyrically brilliant songs. This one, it's not really about the lyrics. It's about the feeling you get when you listen to it. And then when you hear the someday when you'll leave me, I bet these memories follow you around.
Me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it's down. Someday when you leave me, I bet these memories follow you around.
In the echo, you hear follow you around. Like it's fading in the background, and that's supposed to represent the love fading, but the memories sticking around. Like it's just enough to follow you around. And I think that's brilliant. All right, next up, Death by a Thousand Cuts. Oh my God. Number 8 is Death by a Thousand Cuts. This song is so retro, a coming of age story, like an early 2000s movie. It would be perfect. And you hear the ma. It feels like summer. It feels like the weather is getting nice out. The sun is shining until 7 o'clock p.m.
And goodbye is death by a thousand cuts. Flashbacks waking me up. I get drunk, but it's not enough, 'cause the morning comes and you're not my baby.
You know, and this is all about like anticipating a breakup. Like when you're anticipating a breakup, it's slow death. And you know it's over, but you're still in this gray area where no one has called it out yet. So when you take these lyrics, if you read them from start to finish, you would think this is the most Taylor Swift track 5 ever. Like you could take all the track 5s from Taylor, and this one, if you read the lyrics, may make you cry. But the production is so colorful and angelic and fun, a great time. You could drive around to it and sing it on the top of your lungs on the way to a party. And that's what's so incredible. It's like the saddest lyrics mixed with the most happy production creates such a masterpiece that just leaves you like, wait a second, I didn't realize this was this depressing.
I look through the windows of this love, even though we boarded them up. Chandelier still flickering here, 'cause I can't pretend it's okay when it's not.
I see you everywhere. The only thing we share is this small town. And I think a lot of people can relate to that if you grew up in a small town. Even if you say goodbye to somebody, it's never really goodbye. You're going to run into that person over and over again. In all likelihood, you probably have the same friends. And, she discussed a little bit of this in Champagne Problems, decking the hallways that we once walked through and all that stuff. And, it creates an awkward tension, which makes the love dying that much more painful, which is like 1,000 cuts. She even says later on, I ask the traffic lights if I'll be all right, and they say, I don't know. And she's looking at the traffic lights for an answer on destiny with love. Like, what is love destined to be with this person? And the traffic lights are like, I don't know. So being at the traffic lights don't give you a sign, they don't give you a signal. What are you going to do? You're going to continue driving, but then you're going to crash. You're going to crash. And she knows she's going to crash, but she's in a place where she has her foot on the gas pedal and she knows this is going nowhere. There's one part in the song where the ad-libs come back and you hear it in the background, the ma, and it syncs up perfectly when she sings my time, my wine, my spirit, my trust, and it's beautiful.
My time, my wine, my spirit, my trust. Trying to find a part of me you didn't take up. Gave you so much, but it wasn't enough. But I'll be alright, it's just 1,000 cuts.
I get drunk, but it's not enough, 'cause you're not my baby. Number 7 on the list is the greatest Taylor Swift album closer. Can I think of anything better? No, I'm going there. Clean by Taylor Swift is the greatest album closer. I want y'all to comment below. So, by the way, if you haven't commented your top 13 Taylor songs, what are you doing? I'm waiting. And if you didn't like the video, I'm waiting. And if you didn't subscribe to the channel, if you're subscribed already, you're going to have a great week. I love you. If you didn't subscribe, you're ruining your chances at a great day tomorrow. If you want a great day and you want some good luck, subscribe to the channel right now. But Clean by Taylor Swift is my favorite album closer. And I want to know your favorite album closer and your favorite album opener. Let me know. But this is all about Taylor being fully healed from a relationship.
Morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clear.
I watched or read an interview where she said she was, I believe, in London at the time or somewhere in the UK, and she didn't think about her ex. It was the first time. She had every reason in the world to think of her ex, but she didn't. And that's when she realized, oh, wow, like, I'm finally cleaned. But you can take this song and flip the interpretation, because clean is a term that, people who struggled with addiction or, abuse, depression, this word clean comes to mind to them. And you can listen to this song and still get that same triumphant ending of being clean from something that was toxic or something that was hurting you in the long run. And that's why this song is so beautiful. I love the line where she says, when the flowers we grown together died of thirst.
The very worst. When the flowers that we'd grown together died of thirst.
Flower is a beautiful thing. It's still a beautiful thing to reflect on the love. But if it died of thirst, it can no longer be suitable to you in this present moment. Doesn't mean you can't reflect on it. And she says that later on in the song. She says, 10 months sober, I must admit, just because you're clean don't mean you don't miss it. And that is just a very honest truth when it comes to something that you were once in love with or addicted to, is even if you're clean from it, you may still miss it from time to time. I really want to hear this song live. I hope she does it on the Eras tour. Gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean. I love the throughout the song, and there's one part where she's like
Said I think I'm finally clean.
So calming. It's almost as good as the hums in Hey Stephen when she's like, Hey Stephen, I know looks could be deceiving, but I know I've seen a lot in you. I probably messed up the lyrics a little bit. I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. Number 6 on the list, Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer, I think, is everyone's favorite album cut that I guess didn't turn into a single.
Angels roll their eyes, what doesn't kill me makes me want you more. And it's blue, the shape of your body is blue, the feeling I got in it, it's cruel summer.
Okay, Cruel Summer. In terms of bridges, Taylor Swift bridges, I mean, shout out to all the construction workers over the years. But you can never, all the architects in the world, great job. Whether you worked on the Brooklyn Bridge, whether you worked on the London Bridge. But guess what? It ain't Taylor's bridge, okay? And the bridge on Cruel Summer. I'm drunk in the back of the car.
And I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you.
But yeah, this is a great summertime song. The chorus, you can't go wrong with it. And the fact that I have not heard it live yet pains me. Okay, everyone, now we are officially in the top 5 songs for Taylor Swift. Just a rundown of the top 13. Honorable mention was Lover. Number 13 was The Best Day. Number 12 was Blank Space. Number 11 was State of Grace. Number 10 was Anti-Hero. Number 9 is Wildest Dreams. Number 8 is Death by a Thousand Cuts. Number 7 is Clean. And number 6 is Cruel Summer. My number 5 is Mirror Ball.
I want you to know I'm a mirror ball. I'll show you every version of yourself tonight.
Mirror Ball is one of my favorite songs from Folklore. The production is so chill. The muffled drums, it allows you to just relax. But there's still this disco feel to it, right? And the message in this song is so beautifully conveyed. She compares herself to a mirror ball. And a mirror ball is made up of a million pieces that can shatter in any moment. And those pieces, you look at it and it's like up close, and if it's not shining, you see how broken it is. But when it's up there and the light is reflecting on it, it's so beautiful to see, right? And everybody's dancing. They're following along to the rhythm of the mirror ball. And that is very symbolic of an entertainer. An entertainer takes all of their pain, all of their broken pieces, and they put it in a song to entertain others and give someone else a great time. And that is the sacrifice that you give when you're a musician, especially like Taylor, because throughout her career, she's been an open book. So when you hear lines, she says, I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. There could be one song that'll make you feel happy, one song that'll make you feel sad, one that will make you feel jealous, one that will make you feel envious, one that will make you feel like you're in love. It's so many elements to Taylor's music and so many song topics that she performs. You see so many versions of yourself in her lyrics.
When no one is around, my dear, you'll find me on my tallest tiptoes, spinning in my highest heels, love, shining just for you.
The hush when no one's around, my dear, is such a innocent line to me. You know, hush when no one is around, my dear. Another one of my favorite parts is when she says, I'm still a believer, but I don't know why. I've never been a natural. All I do is try, try, try. She wants you laughing at her. She wants you smiling. She wants you dancing. She wants you to feel all these things. And ultimately, J. Cole had this one line in a song called Sacrifices where he says, you can't be everything to everybody because ultimately you're going to shatter. And yeah, that's why Mirror Ball is such a beautiful and brilliant song. Lyrically, one of her best.
When they send home the horses and the rodeo clowns, I'm still on that tightrope. I'm still trying everything to get you laughing at me.
Number 4 is her greatest deluxe edition song of all time. And that song is Would've, Could've, Should've. Would've, Could've, Should've is number 4 on the list. It made my top 5.
Give me back my girl, and it was my birth.
This song is so special because Dear John off Speak Now was written, I believe, when Taylor was 19 years old. And that's the age in which she was romantically involved with someone who was, I believe, in their 30s. And years later, the reason why Would've, Could've, Should've is so special is because Taylor's now the same age as the person she was singing about in Dear John, right? Now she's in her early 30s, no longer 19, and she can look back on that situation or even that song and she can still process certain things vividly, right? And the most important message is that these things still hurt. Even when you're over it, it still hurts in moments.
All I used to do was pray. Would've, could've, should've. If you'd never looked my way, I would've stayed on my knees. And I damn sure never would've danced with the devil at 19.
Years later, some people would say, oh, well, why is she still making a song about... Because those things still hurt. Those things are still present in her life in many ways. And she kind of has the regret. She says, and I damn sure would have never danced with the devil at 19. And the God's honest truth is that the pain was heaven. And now that I'm grown, I'm scared of ghosts. It's still a ghost. And the ending where she sings, and I regret you all the time.
I miss who I used to be, the two won't close. Stainless windows in my mind. I regret you all the time. I can't let this go.
Bro, I be running that back over and over again. Like the last minute and 30 seconds of this song is immaculate. Immaculate. And yeah, this is easily one of her best to date. All right, top 3. Number 3 is Cardigan, specifically Cabin in the Candlelight version. It's the only version I play. Don't get me wrong, the one on Folklore, the standard edition, is great. But the Cabin in the Candlelight version, there's no percussion. All you hear is the piano. It sounds so angelic. It sounds like you're in a forest and you're roasting marshmallows, reflecting on love. And it highlights her vocals. You also hear the cracks in her voice, and that's what makes it so beautiful. It's like this was strictly for you to hear and only you. This version to me emphasizes the innocence and not only the song, but the love triangle that she put forth on Folklore.
Kissing cars and downtown bars was all we needed. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding.
When you hear lines like, and when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. When you hear lines like, you drew stars around my scars, and now I'm bleeding, I think it just hurts you more than anything when you hear it with this version. And those lines are just beautifully written. I knew you, leaving like a father, running like water, right? So leaving like a father is also a callback to Seven. And then on Seven, she's talking about, this relationship between, a friend of hers and a broken home.
'Cause I knew you, stepping on the last train, marked me like a bloodstained night. I knew you, tried to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. I knew you, leaving like a father, running like water, right?
Okay, so next on the list is All Too Well, 10-minute version. I think this is easily the fan favorite when it comes to Taylor Swift songs.
There we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair, I was there. I remember it all too well.
And the original original version is great, but the 10-minute version, you kind of get those folklore elements in terms of the muffled drums, the piano throughout the song, and it enhances the story with the lyrics added in the 10-minute version. It's an open book. It's like Taylor takes a diary of her most personal, I guess, reflections of the relationship, and she just shares it with you as if you're her best friend, right? And then you hear autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place.
Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, and I can picture it after all these days.
And that sums up the song, you know, of the relationship falling apart, but her being able to illustrate every moment. And she's so specific, whether it's her talking about the scarf, which became very legendary. But even when you hear her reflecting on being at, you know, his house, her mom is telling her stories about him on the t-ball team. And it's like a little bit of her poking fun at certain elements of this person, because that person is a dirtbag. So it's like, yo, dumbass was on the t-ball team, probably didn't get no playing time. Like, it's a little bit of a roast session. It's savage. And I love that Taylor includes that in the music because it's so... In times it may feel unnecessary, but sometimes what's unnecessary is so honest, right? Because we all say things where it's like, you know what, let's redirect the conversation and talk about this. And, you know, photo albums are very embarrassing for most of us, except for me. Here's my photo albums. These are all adorable. My camera, is this wrong? What's this? Oh, no! And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. Like, what?
And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it. Oh.
Taylor, Shakespeare could never. You give me your favorite author. Honestly, at this point, I want to send a demand that all school systems, okay? Because you're going to have to read The Outsiders. You're going to have to read To Kill a Mockingbird. They have all these books. I want everyone in school to go to your English teacher, go to your literature teacher, your professor. This should be taught in all schools, All Too Well by Taylor Swift. Because damn it, this is literature right here. And then she says, time won't fly. It's like I'm paralyzed by it. I like to see my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. That is my favorite Taylor lyric of all time, because there was a point where I lost myself and, you know, you felt paralyzed by the times you were in, and then you had no choice but to find yourself. And my number one Taylor song, August, when she sings Saw Air.
And the rust on your door, I never needed anything more.
This sounds so good with your headphones in, and oh my God, you feel nostalgic when you listen to this for some reason. It's honestly one of the greatest songs of all time. 2020 was a very rough year for me, but some of my favorite moments in that horrible year was with this song as the background, or this song as the soundtrack. You know, so when I reflect on the highs of that year, I still get very emotional when thinking about it, and that's why this song connects to me so much. And this has very much the energy of the lines, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. But when you do smile, one tear is going to fall down your cheek. And you don't know if that is a tear of sadness or a tear of joy. But all in all, it did happen. And that's what this song represents, right? Like, August slipped away and you can't get it back. But there's still something about this that feels happy, you know, and joyful, that you were experiencing it in the first place.
But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time, 'cause it was never mine. And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August slipped away like a bottle of wine, 'cause you were never mine.
But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time, because it was never mine. It was never mine to begin with, but I didn't know that it wasn't mine. And it makes you think that many of the things that you love right now will one day slip away. In some form or fashion, everything slips away. To live for the hope of it all, cancel plans just in case you call and say, meet me behind the mall. So much for summer love.
To live for the hope of it all, cancel plans just in case you call and say, meet me behind the mall. So much for summer love, and saying us 'cause you weren't mine to lose. You weren't mine to lose.
Like, so much for something being so perfect. Things could only be so perfect, right? And that's the beauty in August, and that's my favorite Taylor Swift song to date. Vocals, production, the bridge, everything about it is amazing. It's my favorite song off my favorite album from Taylor Swift. And I hope that you guys all enjoyed my top 13 songs. There's a playlist of all my Taylor Swift videos. You could do a marathon of all this great content. So check it out, share it with your friends so they can see. I really want people to see these videos, man. Share them, show love, man. I love you guys, and I want to create something special. I want to create a community here. So, yo, show love, man. Be my friend. Let's be friends, okay? Subscribe to the channel, like this video. My social media is Anthony96JR. And as always with my channel, we end off with a hug. Bring it in.
7 feet.
7 feet fine, 7 deadly sins when peeking out of my blind. A sunshine, a cottage enriched with tea yarn, a barn, a warm plate at Christmas Tree Farms. But you stepped to my home and buttered me up with Wizard of Oz. From sepia tone to color, my emptiness is a burden like minimalism clutter. Though my innocence was my nemesis, 'cause I love the irrefutable things.